Programa Institucional de Inglés.
Hi guys, how are you? Well, you know me, my name is Julián Núñez, and today we're going to have our English class online because we have the quarantine, but we have to continue working. So, welcome to this class, and today we're going to talk about the present perfect tense. When we talk about the present perfect tense, we have different uses, but we are going to focus today on three specific ones. So let's start checking the first example. The first example I have is I have traveled to Costa Rica. When you listen, I have traveled to Costa Rica, what ideas come to your mind? We can express experiences. That is the first use. Expressing experiences about things you have done before. Apart from traveling to Costa Rica, I can say that I have been on television. The second use is when we talk about things that started in the past but continued through till now. For example, I have been a Batman fan since I was a little boy. Yes, if you can see here, I was very little. I was like 8 years or something like that. And my party was about Batman. And I continue being a Batman fan. So I can say something that started in the past but continues. I have been a Batman fan since I was a boy. Also, I started working at UADY like 13 years ago. So I can say I have been a UADY teacher for many years. We're going to talk about the third use. We use the present perfect when we want to talk about actions in the past that are repeated. For example, I have seen Batman movies many times. Think about what things have you done repeatedly. For example, some people have traveled to Disneyland 3 times. I have visited Costa Rica twice. Let's start talking about how to form the present perfect tense. So far, we have checked the 3 different uses. Do you remember? Now, let's check how do we form it. Remember when we say tense is like tiempo gramatical, okay? So now, let's check the example. I have been a UADY teacher for many years. What are the specific parts? If you see, we have and we have a verb. In this case, the verb is been. What kind of verb can you see here? Is this a base form? Is it the past form? No, it is the past participle. So, we form the present perfect with our subject or noun with the have or has, that is our auxiliary verb, and we have the past participle form of the verb. Yes, if you ask me, teacher, what is the past participle form? When we always work with the list of verbs, the third one in the list is the past participle. Okay, for example, we have the base form, that is speak, we have the past form, that is spoke, and we have the past participle form, that is spoken. Let's check here. We have eat, ate, eaten. So, in these 3, what do you think is the past participle form? Yes, as we can see in red, we have the past participle of eat is eaten. So, it's necessary to check what is the past participle form to complete my sentences in the present perfect. So let's check. If I want to form, I need my subject. I can say I. Then I need my auxiliary verb, that is have or has. I have. And then I have my past participle form of the verb, that in this case is played or worked. But you can see here on the board that we have two different kinds of past participle verbs, and they are the regular ones and the irregular ones. Yes, as always, we have to learn the ones that are regular and the ones that are irregular. As the name says, the regular ones are the ones that follow a specific rule. And you can see in the examples that the rules they follow is with the ed ending. It is very important to check what is the pronunciation, okay, of the ed ending. We have seen it before in the simple past, but I'm going to post a link when you can practice ed ending of the regular verbs. The irregular ones are the verbs that change completely, and in this case we have eaten, that is the past participle form of eat. We have seen, that is the past participle form of see. So we have see, we have the past form, and we have the past participle, that is seen. Now let's check the next examples. I have seen that movie before. And we also have, in this case, I have lived in Mérida my whole life. Now, let's try to do the same sentence with my subject or my noun that is going to be changed. That will be Mary. What do you think? Is it correct to say Mary have lived in Mérida her whole life? No, of course not. It is incorrect. What's the problem here? I have to change my auxiliary verb to Mary has lived in Mérida her whole life. Let's check the next question. Have you traveled to Italy? Have you traveled to Italy? What's the question structure here? If you pay attention, we have a change in the position of our auxiliary verb and the subject. So, if I want to make a question structure, I have or has. We have the subject, have you, or has Mario. And we have the past participle form, eaten, and it's the same. Eaten, snake, and we close the question with our question mark. Has Mario eaten snake? And we have the question form, the interrogative form, just switching the position between our auxiliary verb and our subject. Remember, these are yes or no questions. Have you eaten snake? Have you? For example, if you ask me, have you eaten snake? I can answer, yes, I have. Your answer is no, I haven't. Yes, I have. No, I haven't. Now let's check. If you want open questions, you know that always you have to use a WH question, and you continue with the same structure. For example, you have here where have you eaten a snake? I have eaten a snake in Tabasco. Now let's check the next example. I have never traveled to Italy. I have never traveled to Italy. Okay? Here we can add an adverb. Never. Okay? So this is a negative form, but the adverb is giving me the negative situation or the negative context. For example, if I ask you, have you traveled to Italy? What would be your answer? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. If you ask me, have you traveled to Italy? I have never traveled to Italy. Or I can say, no, I haven't traveled to Italy. What would happen if I want to change my sentences to my third person in singular? He, she, it. Yes, exactly. We are going to do the same as the affirmative form as the interrogative form. So we are going to have has plus not, or the contracted form, that is hasn't. Sorry. That is hasn't. Has not or hasn't, and we keep using the past participle form. So we can say he has not traveled to Canada. Now, if I have I, you, we, they, we will keep the same structure. So I can use you haven't visited Canada. We haven't visited Canada. They haven't visited Canada. But if I have he, she, it, as I was showing you, we are using has plus not, or the contracted form, that is hasn't. So I can say he has not visited Canada, or he has not traveled to Italy. She hasn't traveled to Italy. This is a tense that you have to study. What do you have to study? Apart from the rules, we have to study the past participle form. That will be a homework you have to do. And also, I'm going to ask you to do another homework. It will be to find someone who, I'm going to show you some specific example. In your house, you are going to ask the next question. Have you ever, have you ever eaten snake? And if you find someone who says yes, you are going to report it the next way. My mom has eaten snake. Your homework will be forming different questions similar to this with different kinds of experiences. Like, have you traveled to Europe? Have you been on television? Have you dreamt in English? Have you spoken English with a friend? Something like that. You are going to write 6 minimum, 6 questions like this, and ask them to your family or friends, or with the people you are chatting with during this quarantine, okay? If they answer yes, you are going to write the sentences similar to this. My mom has eaten a snake. Okay guys, well, I hope you have enjoyed this class. It was a very short class learning how to use the present perfect, but we have to continue learning and practicing. I have offered to you some video conferences when you can practice speaking with me, and also you can chat with me by the different apps I have told you before. So let's keep in touch, and we have to continue, we have to be smiling because this is not going to last too long. We hope that. See you soon.
Programa Institucional de Inglés.